everybody, and welcome back to another round of the IIRL Season 9. We are back this Thursday with Realistic Tier in Abu Dhabi. It is round 9, and I am here with...
Me, I have returned to the commentary booth again this week.
Mr. Tacit is back. Good evening, Jack. Good evening, Nico. I hope you have very good races today. We are back, round 9. It is Abu Dhabi. We have 15 drivers for you tonight. And we have a returning guest. I say guest. It is Björn. He is back. It's his first time on the tracks in a while. Crocodile. But Björn is back. He is no longer the championship leader. However, our current championship leader, in fact the first and second placed in the championship, Codcamper and Alessio, are not racing this week. So this is a good opportunity for Björn to come and catch up.
Yep, speaking of the championship, obviously we got Alessio, the front two, but deflated me 43 points behind. Obviously, both his rivals are missing this week, so a win would bring him right back into the fight for the last 3 rounds of the season.
Exactly. And we'll go through the points gap during the 5-minute break, but Deflated Wheat is the highest championship leading car in the race tonight, with just behind him. Good evening, Killian. I hope you have a very good race.
Yeah, speaking of Killian, he is 5th in the championship. He is 70 points back, but he's on 79 points in total.
Sexy. So if Killian can get a good race in the Williams car, which will be good through Sector 1 and 2, but may not be so good in Sector 3, so see if that caveat starts as Björn starts his first lap of qualifying.
Starting his first lap, important not to use all the ERS, even in medium mode we've seen in practice. JohnJohn, the Neurosys championship leader, running out of the ERS before the line. Might have been a mistake, but we want to see what happens in this round. As he goes into this corner here, into turn 5. Need to get a good exit here as it goes onto a long straight. Long DRS zone. Got his teammate could give him slipstream as well, so that could enhance that time.
Exactly, he's using a lot of his battery into the chicane of 6 and 7, but he should still have enough for the rest of the lap. You don't really need it in Sector 3 if we're being real, because it is just a bunch of corners that most of the drivers will seem to hate when it comes through tonight. Björn setting a 52.8 in Sector 2.
Yeah, Sector 3 is probably the one the drivers don't like the most, as Björn ends it here, because the corners are big and fast. They come straight at you, and there isn't any small straight or straight at all to give you a breather. See through the hotel section here. Up to turn 15, then turn 16, entry turn 16, you're going to brake at the line, down to 4th gear. Short run up to line here like Austin, and Björn sets a 123.953.
Gets us underway as his teammate for the night, JohnJohn, starts a lap, but currently I believe it is Wizard Mitten who will be next to the line. He is in the McLaren tonight, so we'll see how he compares to the slowest car of a Björn Beast, and he will go ahead by a very, very small margin. That is lovely to see. Rothwell also goes fastest with a 23.8, and his teammate Wouter goes for a 23.4. And then Nico, under the name Bullet, because why not, does a 23.4 as well. So we got some lovely equal times in trains there.
Yeah, Nico, one of the best pad plays in the league. He's done 11 races so far. He's the podium here today in the league so far. One of his first, if not his first, in this tier as well.
In the meantime there, Jack setting a 124.4, which puts him P6 as it currently stands. Leo coming into the pit lane, and Ethan going fastest with a 23 flat as it currently stands. He's 4/10 off ahead of Wouter, who is also making a comeback tonight. So welcome back to Wouter.
Welcome back, Wouter, and welcome back, Ethan. the front row. He's going to looking to break the pole curse that he suffered from the last few races, especially.
JohnJohn, he runs out of battery towards the end of his lap, but he has a 3/10 of a second gap to Ethan. I believe there is a flipper lister in the other the other Aston Martin, also making a little comeback. I think last time he raced might have been Belgium, where he was in the Haas, so he's been upgraded for tonight's race. Max has started a run as well, and Killian goes P5 in the Williams, which he has had for most of the season.
Yeah, he's had that for most of the season. But complaints in and out, but he's showing the pace, especially in the sectors where it's the best car. 5th in the championship, but he'll be looking for more. Hopes lap times. He takes the alternative route in sector 3 on his sector 1 on his end lap, sector 2 as well.
I believe the current car on a lap is the flipper lister in the Aston Martin. He's currently coming up to the second hairpin down the second DRS straight. As Björn is in the chat saying he's rusty, I mean, understandable, but I trust that you'll get back into it. And yeah. Nico saying thanks for the compliment.
Controller players unite, Nico. Control. And what we're going to see, hopefully united maybe, is flipper lister near his teammate Ethan B. He's rounding turn 16 now, up to the line. That's going to be 1 minute 23.9, which puts him 7th.
And that means Max Legueth, who had a great showing in Qatar last week, was P2 when it all came down to the finishes. Currently P10 with a 23.9, is a part of that very big train from P6, which starts at Rothwell, all the way down to himself, Max, in 10th. Got 4 drivers yet to set a lap time, but Deflated Wee is coming up to finish his run. He did win the NA race on Tuesday with a great strategy, which allowed him to get ahead of JohnJohn, and he puts himself P2 with a very, very tight gap to Ethan. He's currently, I can never remember what that is. Is that 400ths? I don't remember.
It's a very small gap, specific gap. It's probably going to be hard to remember off the top of our heads, but what I can remember is that I believe his 32nd win in this league, so that's fully updated. He'll be looking for his 33rd win this week. And a crucial win, just like his win here on Tuesday, another one for him where he really needs to gain on his championship rivals. He demonstrated that in the no assist here on race on Tuesday. We'll have to see whether he can do that again today.
Yeah, exactly. It was a great race and a great strategy from Deflated Wheat, as we see a Mercedes extra exiting the pit lane. That'll be Nico, but Deflated Wheat pulling off a great strategy on Tuesday to get ahead of his championship rival JohnJohn, and a surprise finisher of Sulks in P3, who was undoubtedly a pit stop behind, but he still had a great race nonetheless.
Yeah, driving their performance for that man for doing the one stop and capitalising on others' penalties. Talking about capitalising, Nico here is going to want to use his fresher tyres, the fresher Pirelli rubber, to get a better lap time. As he's in that close train of 5th to 2nd, or 5th to 3rd, where they're all within roughly a 10th of each other, half a 10th.
His current car on a lap is Björn. He is currently the only car on a lap, so he's utilising a second set of soft tyres early on in this short qualifying session. And we'll see what he can produce. The Sauber car does seem to have less battery, as Deaton has unfortunately left his car. So he'll be back momentarily as he enters the hotel section of the track. Now he's still got a lot of battery to play with, as Aston Martin is letting cars through, but as Björn will enter the final corner now, and he goes down the line, taking the shortest run. He puts himself P6 in that train. Lovely to see.
Yeah, improving up to P6 as well for Björn. His former championship leader looking to get that title back at the front, but the rust is clearly showing.
Exactly, but with the more laps he does, the more he does is he takes the old layout of Abu Dhabi here. That was funny, as other cars are, a lot of cars are starting a run. I believe Desco on board with Leo because he is yet to do a run, so we'll see what he can do in his first run in the upgraded V-Carb car compared to last time he raced where he was in the Haas.
How much was the V-Car car upgrade? Was that that was an original patch, I imagine?
I don't think it was much, but it might have been a little bit. But he was in the Haas, so it's an upgrade in terms of cars.
Yep.
As he sets a purple sector 2 of the people that are on track, apparently. Do we believe it? We do not know. But we will wait and see to see how he crosses the line to set his run.
Who have we got on a lap right now? Let's have a look. I think we've got Ethan on a lap as well right now. He's looking to improve on the net pole time of 23.0. We've also got Inflated Wee, who's a P2 in the Haas. He's on a lap looking to improve on that. Less than a 10 splitting the front row.
And Leo puts himself P7. I think he was the first car to cross the line, as other cars are entering the pit lane, including JohnJohn, while others are coming out of said pit lane. I believe Rothwell is starting a run or just finished one. Wouter goes fastest in his Ferrari by 0.2 to Ethan, who is also starting a run. Deflated Wee is also about to start a run as well. And I believe Killian has invalidated his run, so he will probably go into the pits. And the other one is a Red Bull of Padge, who is about to start a run. As we go back up to the front of the pack, I believe it is a Mercedes. It is Max, who is currently the first car in the second lot of runners.
Yeah, Ethan finished his run, improving his time but not his position. He's around 0.2 off the net pole time. And we've got Deflated Wee. He's invalidated his push lap into turn 5. And looking further down the road, one-time pole sitter Leo is going in. He's preparing for his final run of the session. Got caution as well in set to 3.
Yeah, that is the V-Carb letting Max through, as Max will come to the line to finish his second run of the session, put himself back to P10, as I believe Flipperlister is coming into the pit, so it'll be Wizardmitten coming into the pit lane. Deton is starting a run, and I believe Rothwell and Wood will be coming into the pits, so trying to figure out who's actually on a run is going to be difficult. But I think it might be Deflated Wee, but Deflated Wee has invalidated, so he will not be doing another run. I think Padge is entering Sector 3 now.
Yeah, he's
so
in
he
the
will be
hotel
first.
section.
And he hits the wall. That's not what Padge would have won. He's lost a bit of his wing, so he will come into the pits this lap.
Yeah, that's unlucky for Padge, but I think we've got Max. He's an out lap.
Max
or
has
a lap
invalidated. So
right.
he had just finished a run that put himself P10. And we will go on board with Deton, as he's the only car on track doing a lap.
Most drivers will be preparing for the final runs in about a minute.
Of course, Deton known for his super low wings, and he spins! No, Deton! As we were just talking about wings, Deton spins it. Not got enough downforce on that car, he might need to make a wing stop. Get me a chicken palm while you're there. Other chicken shops are available. And he spins again!
The
Deton,
please sponsor IIRL.
Other chicken shops are available. Just to clarify, while they don't sponsor us. As something else that I noticed on his in-lap, Deton did invalidate his listen next lap. That is an issue with the sensors at this track. The Abu Dhabi track makers decided to mess up the censoring, and sometimes if you enter the pit lane incorrectly, just ever so slightly, you can get an automatic 3-second time penalty for it, which can be removed by the stewards if it happens to anyone, as long as they implement a race director that is recorded by the team in the pit lane when they do the steward report, when they do the reports. I am the steward of this race, so I'm hoping for not a lot of them, as we have the first car coming out on track for the final runs. It is Björn Beast.
Yeah, Bjorn's out on his final run. I think Deaton, let's just say the commentator curse has struck again as we focused on him. He spun with those low wings, I presume. But Bjorn's looking to improve his time. He's currently, I think, 7, 8 tenths, 6 tenths off the pole time himself right now. He's about 10th, just under a tenth off his teammate as well. He's put some temperature into those tyres.
Exactly. Björn Beast getting the, as I stated earlier, he's got the first 4 dry run days of realistic tier, and he has a very, very little shaky start to mid outlap here.
Yeah. Just important to note, Socks, that the 50 board into turn 6 has been broken.
Yes, that was both broken by Björn in his very first lap. I caught it. So.
Yeah, we don't want a few weeks. I think it happened relatively recently. I caught someone in the act of destroying one in the race, which is interesting. But what's also interesting is Björn rounds the final corner. He's starting his final run. I'm bored with him right now. So he goes into turn 1. He's going to try and get a good exit here, braking after the 100. On the power, 5th gear, using the ERS. He's now going to go through turns 2 and 3. The fast corners. Now to turn 4 towards the end of sector 1. See where his time is. He is just around a 10th up on his previous time.
Currently purple of the people on the track in the first sector. Honestly, I never know what to make of that. He's not using all the track on the closer to the white line. It is smoother out there, so less bumpy. As he goes into turn 6 now, he goes maybe a little bit deep, but nothing too shaky as so far. He's using battery down the second DRS straight. He is burning quite a lot. He's opens the DRS and he's taking the best line possible. He's still only a 10th up, but any improvement is an improvement. We'll see where this puts him at the end of his lap. As he enters the triple right into the hotel section now, where he looks very, very smooth, very calm. Of course, people have been suffering with understeer in that hotel section. As now he enters the final corner for what will be his final run of qualifying. Puts himself P4 ahead of his teammate for the evening, JohnJohn. I believe we have a spinner in the second sector. It's Leo. Leo has spun and he's been disqualified for going the wrong way. Okay.
Yeah. One-time pole sitting, not getting V1. So Ethan loses a lot of time in the exit of turn 14, an area where it's quite common track limits, and he fails on his lap.
Pit lane.
So high the P2 for him.
That means the Nico goes P5, apologies, missing that. JohnJohn is up next and he stays P6. Wizard Mitten next P7. There's a Ferrari, I believe, is it Rothwell? It is not, it is Wouter, who might be on for a pole position this week, as Padge stays P13. This is getting very difficult to catch up. We've got Flipperlister up next, he pushes himself up to P7. Rothwell is next, he pushes himself up to P8. Williams of Killian is up next, he's only up 2 tenths, but that's still enough for P6. Deaton pushes himself up to P12. Max pushes himself up to P6, and last but not least will be Björn Beast, but that is it for this qualifying session. Wouter has got a pole position. I believe this is his first pole position in realistic tier this season.
Yeah, let me just double check that one. Wouter, yes it is. I did catch an incident, I think Padge was on a push lap where it was a bit close between him and Liam when Liam was trying to let him through. I've got a clip of it if it's needed, but I did catch that. But well done to Wouter.
Yeah, drivers will have to report stuff if they feel it necessary. A POV is required for incident reports, as we had an issue, I believe last week, with someone not having a POV. So if you want a incident to be reported, drivers must provide their POV, and any incident that goes with it, will go with it. As good evening, Tay. Tay in the chat was my original teammate in season 3. Welcome back, Tay. Good to
Teammates
see you in the chat.
reunited.
Yeah, he was my first teammate in the house. Absolute legend. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, Bjorn seems to be happy with P4. Nico was 2 tenths down in Sector 1, and Bjorn is saying his setup change worked. But that is it for short qualifying in realistic tier. Wooter in P1, Ethan P2, another great qualifying. He's not on pulse, he might have a chance of winning tonight. Deflated Wee P3, Bjorn P4 on return. Nico P5, Max P6, Killian P7, JohnJohn P8, Flipperlist P9, Rothwell P10, Wismitten P11, Deton P12, Jax P13, Padge P14, and Leo getting disqualified for going the wrong way.
Yeah, that was a great, great listing of them all in time there, Socks. As also is proud of you is your former teammate Tay.
Uh, Tay, welcome back as we now enter the 5-minute break where we let the drivers do whatever they want, whatever they need to do, setup changes, sorting out their strategies. What are we expecting for strategy tonight?
It's looking to be a two-stop. Hard, medium, 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 hard, medium, or medium, medium, hard. It's all off the top of my head, but it should be a two-stop no matter what. Although, as you demonstrated the other day, you can one-stop. The immense amount of tyres, technical issues. The immense amount of tyre saving you have to do means it's not the most competitive strategy around here, especially if you're on a controller like Nico.
Exactly, yes. The pad controller players will have a disadvantage when it comes to tyre wear, so you're most likely to see two-stop strategies from them. However, I think as we saw on Tuesday in the no assist race, where Sox got his first podium in no assist by using the one stop, uh, it is viable if you can make it work. And you, from Sox's perspective, myself, hello. Um, you probably need an early safety car to make it work. I think I think that's what helped it a lot more. Is if you have an early safety car, you can save your tyres for those 3-4 laps. However, if there's not, then you're going to find it very tough. As my tyre, and we're talking about realistic cars here. This isn't equal cars like it is on no assist. As Björn is saying, he's going to go for what strategy he's going to go for, and the Sauber tyre wear is bad. As I believe JohnJohn was saying the same thing in the party before this race. The Sauber tyre wear and the Sauber ERS is bad, and most teams, I think it was said that the Mercedes has the best tyre wear. However, we believe that both Mercedes drivers are on pad, so their tyre wear is going to be through the roof.
Yeah, especially with the dirty air as bad as it is on F125. That's going to make a deadly concoction for racing here. One that we saw in play in Qatar last week, where you really have to manage the tyres, even if you're expecting most of the drivers to be on a two-stop this week. It's going to be close no matter what. As a confirmation from race control, we start in 1 minute time.
Yeah, and Nico is in the chat asking if Max is on pad. I'm not sure. I think he might be, but I'm not 100% sure. So, I can't confirm nor deny. Björn is saying that clean air is key here. Honestly, I feel like I've got terrible English sometimes. And hopefully Björn is hoping to be P1 by the end of lap 1, so we'll see how Björn can do, and we'll follow along with his race start as we go along. Is there anything else we need to do? We
Not that I
go.
can think of.
Yeah, I was going to say, we've done championship standings because COD and Alessio are missing out on today's race. Deflated Wheat is P3, 43 points back of Cod Camper, so a win tonight would be beneficial for him to get within 18 points at a maximum. As Björn is also hoping for a race win tonight that'll push him into a maximum of 38 points, gap to Cod Camper, and Killian and JohnJohn will be hoping for significant point advantages tonight.
That is definitely the case as we go into the formation lap.
So we go into the formation lap now, and we can see what tyre strategies people are doing. As you can see, a couple of drivers are started on the hards. You have got Nico, Killian, JohnJohn, and Deton all starting on the hard tyres, which of course only myself, Shivers, and Deton did on Tuesday night's race. Everyone else starting on the medium tyres.
Yeah, seems to be a fair split, mainly in the favour of the medium tyre runners here looking through the grid. As clearly most of them will be going for the faster tyre as a part of their two-stop strategy. Seems to be the Mercedes drivers, obviously the ones with supposedly better tyre wear, and one of them at least is on hard, so that's going to be interesting, have split the strategy.
Yes, they have. So will Nico move out of Max's way to allow the Mercedes duo to increase the potential of points for a Constructors' Championship that does not exist in Realistic Tier, but that if Realistic Tier does come back for Season 10, there is possibilities of one being implemented in ways that might actually work. So, we'll have to wait and see. But there is a slight gap.
Yeah, there's a slight gap. The way there are very many theories as to how Constructors' Championship would work in this tier. But we have your race start presented by Socks.
As we have Wouter lining up to his first place grid box, which I think Wouter might have had a podium in the old F2 tier, but I'm not 100% sure on that. So as everyone else lines up to the grid, nobody has been moved back. But as we wait for the 5 red lights, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it is lights out and away they fly! The run down to turn 1, Killian getting a bit lost out to JohnJohn as Björn Beast has a look down the inside of Deflated Wee, and they are side by side through turn 2, 3, I think. And there is slight contact there between Björn and Deflated Wee, and there is movement all over the pack. JohnJohn went into the back of a Mercedes, but I think everyone is staying fairly calm for now, as Rockwell getting out of the back of the cars. Deton making a move. He's going to go maybe potentially 3 wide as the 50 brake marker board has gone, as Leo has locked up. That is not going to make the other drivers happy. He's got a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting, which is unfortunate to say. Wouter's still keeping his lead for now, but now has been overtaken, or is in the process of being overtaken by Björn Beef. But Björn having a look around the outside of the hairpin where Deflated Wee with a great move, and he goes to the inside, and there's yellow flags in the back, side by side. Wouter has been pushed off track, and he might get a track limit penalty as it comes on very riskily, and Wouter has now being passed by Deflated Wee. This is all track and action here, as Deflated Wee's on the inside in the final corner. There is enough room there, but he's not able to make the stand back. What the hell is going on here? As Björn is now leading after lap 1, like you said in the chat earlier.
Yeah, that was a one lap of commentating. Excellent from you there, Scott. Socks, as I should probably call you correctly. But
It doesn't matter.
yeah. But yeah, Wouter trying to bring the arms out, making his car as big as possible, but he loses position through turns 15, well, actually turns 13 and 14 in the hotel section. He's burning the battery, trying to catch up to Björn into the chicane here. So the 50 is gone because of Leo. But we've got Deflated Wee looking for a move. He tucks in behind the Ferrari. Now we've got Björn leading out of turn 7. He's going to lead, but he doesn't have the DRS down the back straight. He has the extra, over 15 kilometers extra of speed, the Ferrari here. He is looking for an overtake into the long turn 9, but Björn shuts the door behind it.
I'm going to stop you there. JohnJohn and Killian are going side by side. There's contact between the two cars, the Williams of Killian, and JohnJohn losing out. As there's a bit of contact there between him and Wizard Mitten. Has he got wing damage? He is losing. He has lost an end plate. JohnJohn does not have an end plate, which has put his strategy in the absolute mud. Good evening, Steinjohn. I hope you're doing very well, my friend. Steinjohn saying dirty Björn. He pushes his friend off into the off track. We're getting some fastest lap times from Björn and Wouter. But yeah. Steinjohn is not happy with his friend's driving style.
Yeah, fastest race time on this track was set by Willow's a 1:24.086. I don't believe our fastest lap is currently near that, nor do I know when that was set. But there seems to be a lot of action there. JohnJohn's race especially has been turned upside down by the contact Killian, who himself has remained in P7. And we've got a lot of cars in the train, although it has split between Rothwell and Flittle, and the gap is currently at 1.1 seconds.
This has been an absolute crazy start to this race. Björn is still leading the way as we go on board with Wouter, who has got the DRS, and he's also stolen my race number, but that's a different story for another day. As he tries to look round the outside, and he makes it work. Is Björn going to have a look back round the inside? He is not, as Wouter will settle ahead of Björn, as Björn looking to send it down the inside into this hotel section. Björn is looking very feisty as going around the hotel section. Now we didn't get a very good camera angle, so apologies for that. But Björn is looking very feisty against this Ferrari of Wouter. Deflated Wee in behind.
Yeah, talking about feisty, it's very feisty. Rothwell says it's 27.8. But if you look behind, the train that goes from, I believe, Wizard Mitten to Padge is very close. It's close by through the hotel section, as P10 Wizard has lost DRS to Rothwell. His teammate Deton's going to be looking for an overtake here as he goes for it, but locks up into turn 6. He's going to get the DRS here down the back straight.
As we look here on board with Deflated Wee, who Björn is now looking to make a switchback move on Wouter. So we've got more tradings in the background. There's contact between Wouter, Killian, Wouter, Björn and Deflated Wee. Apologies for the mistake. I think JohnJohn is really struggling out there. He's not been able to gain any positions, but Deflated Wee on the move round the outside of Björn Beast. And that is a lovely move. It is identical to, very similar to the move he made in NA, which he called the best overtake he's ever made in his life round the outside of 2 cars. This time it was only 1, but still an identical, lovely, beautiful move round the outside. How about?
We also had some close battling between Flicker and Rothwell, but he's now fallen 7/10 back. They were going side by side through turn 9, but yeah, the train has reformed the gaps there, but we've got close fighting between Deton, Wizard and Leo.
As JohnJohn has to pit. Yeah, JohnJohn pitting off his hard tyres to replace his front wing. He is definitely fronting out there. He's gone onto the softs. He's done exactly what Deton did on Tuesday. So he is out there for fun. As we go back up to the front of the grid, Deflated Wee now looking at making a move on Wouter, as Leo has made a move on Wizard Mitten in the same part of the track. There is a lovely, nice train forming, which is producing some good racing at the moment.
Yeah, we're going to have to see whether his hard tyres are very good for JohnJohn. He's 21.9 seconds back, and Slipper gets a 3-second penalty. We also got Deflated Wee looking for a move around the outside into turn 9. Wuta raise his car as wide as possible.
Ooh, little
Deflated
slide there
Wee's
for
gonna get the
Wuta.
switch back as well now. We go
Is he round the outside? We're on board with Deflated Wee, and he looks to make the move round the outside. Wuta leaves the room, and Deflated Wee makes the move on the Ferrari, as that is a lovely move. We've got yellow flag in the back. Is that going to bring out anything? No, it is not. But swapping positions here between the two Ferrari-powered cars, and Wuta is still ahead. Deflated Wee burning, trying to get his power back, and he's having a look round the outside. Oh, Deflated Wee got a warning there. That's very good. The contact between the two. Deflated Wee has been pushed off track here. That is very, very naughty there from Wuta. It's going to allow Björn to have a look back down the inside for turn 4. He has a look down the outside. He's not able to make the move, but with the power of DRS, maybe he'll be able to make a look on Wuta, who might be passed by Deflated Wee, unless Deflated Wee waits to the second part of the chicane.
Yeah, not to spoil anything, but Wuta does have an ERS advantage on both of the rest of the top 3. So that will give him a helping hand as the close fight first here.
Whereas Deflated Wee did make the move on Wuta, but that has allowed him, his rival in this race, Björn and Wuta, to get DRS, and it allows both of them to make their way back through. However, Wuta is now behind Deflated Wee, as Deflated Wee will now try and look forward at the Sauber car.
Such a close battle here. Sorry to interrupt you there,
No, you're fine.
Very close battle in the front train. We've got some splintering behind, but it seems that everybody's nip and tug, protecting their tyres behind Björn.
Exactly, in the mix of all of that, we did see Leo pit for a set of medium tyres. Or I think it was another set of medium tyres. So he will need to pit again, as Jax is also in this lap for his first pit stop of the race. As back up to the front of the grid, we have got plenty of cars all within a train of each other. I think this is the top 9 drivers in this race. JohnJohn setting the fast lap on the softs. We'll see how long they last for JohnJohn. As Killian's sending a lovely move down the inside of Nico. A bit of contact there as Killian is contact between him and Nico, which has allowed Nico to stay in the fight a bit more than he would. And Rothwell's having a look around the outside of them both. Contact there, but nothing too serious. Rothwell goes out wide and is having a look down the inside of Killian, but he's not far enough ahead to make anything stick. Rothwell will continue in this race ahead of Nico. He was able to make the move. But however, we will be entering the crossover period sometime soon, at which point the hard drivers of Killian, Nico, Deton and Jax, now who's here, will all be seemingly very, very quick.
Yeah, looking at the crossovers, it's going to take about 7 to 9 laps, depending on how the drivers treat their tyres, for the hards to become faster. So we are in the smack bang in the middle of the transition phase, where the hards will come faster. Mediums will be hitting 25% sometime or now, unless they are absolutely in the bin. But it's still a very close train out there.
A little bit of contact there between Björn and Deflated Wee going through the chicane. As bit of contact there. Particles coming off the front wing of Björn's car, but no damage was caused. They're going 3 wide here. Deflated Wee's in the middle. This is very scary for Deflated Wee, and Björn is off track. Björn is off track. Björn has lost the lead of this race. He's down to P5. That's allowed Deflated Wee and Wuta to continue fighting. And Deflated Wee, I think, had a slight spin there. Don't quote me on that. As Nico has got past Rothwell. That was a pure sector of chaos there, as drivers are now entering the pit lane. You had Wuta, and which allows Deflated Wee to continue on. Max Legweth is in the pit stop as well. Björn has also come in, and Rothwell is in as well. So we've got our first 4 pit stoppers off the medium tyres, other than the ones that pit before. Deflated Wee getting a 3-second time penalty warning there. Very, very unfortunate for Deflated Wee. He got it in part of the track you don't expect to get it in.
Yeah, he got a warning on lap 1, then he got a second on lap 4, and then his third on lap 9. Looking towards Ethan, he's going to focus on the top 3 here. He is on 2 warnings right now, and Killian is on 1.
As Steinos has clipped a contact between Deflated Wee and Steinos. Steinos has clipped a clip of contact between Björn and Deflated Wee before they pit, as Rothwell got past Jax, Wismitten passing I'm getting names mixed up here, getting past JohnJohn, so those soft tyres. Definitely not best, they might be a bit raw.
Yeah, they might. I mean, they're different. They tend to fall off after roughly 2 to 6 laps, I would say, as we've got Deflated Wee and Ethan boxing for the new tyres.
Yeah, you're doing the thing that I do.
Sorry, you pronounce it.
I started saying tyres for some reason, and now it just sticks.
Yeah, Gino saying he had to make overtime on work. That's fair enough. You know, work's very important. So.
Yeah, that's totally fine, Steinos. We hope to have you back on track soon, as Wizardmitten setting the fastest lap of the race at 26.4 on fresh tyres, fresh hards. I need to stop. As Killian and Nico, Nico getting past the Williams of Killian. Yeah. Will Killian be able to make the move back? You with the use of DRS. Jack's getting past Rothwell in the battle for P13. Killian looking like he's just settling in behind for now. It's still a very, very long race. Back down to battle for P12. Rothwell is leading this battle at the moment. Jax and JohnJohn are also in this fight, but JohnJohn will have terrible, terrible tyres.
Yeah, I never thought I'd be saying JohnJohn was in the fight for P12, but this is the interesting racing we get here in the realistic team. We've got a potentially, at the end of the season, 5-time no assist champion fighting for P12. That is the great part of this. We see Jax look up ahead.
It's exactly what we love, as we do have the hard tyres coming into fruition now, as you can see with Nico and Killian basically creating a big gap to Flipperlister, who is 1.8 seconds behind as it currently stands. We'll see how the strategy goes. I wonder if Killian might be seeing what I tried on Tuesday and is going to try and make the one-stop stick, as a big lock up there from Killian, which might not allow him to do so. But we'll see if you're doing. I thought there was a crash. There was not. I think if you have to realistically take the as Deton gets through to P3 and Padge and Flipperlister's round. That was what happened there.
I didn't catch that myself.
I missed that too. Flipperlister is round, as Leo gets a 3-second time penalty as well. Flipperlister has no front wing.
That is interesting. And what's certain is those on the hards will be looking to box between probably lap 14 and lap 18. And speaking of the devil, Killian boxes for the new hard, not even the new hards, new tyres.
It'll be, I imagine, mediums for Killian here, unless he selected the harder strategy. It is mediums for the Williams. That should allow him to go maybe another 8 to 8 laps, 8 to 10 laps maybe, and then he'll pit again, go to the end. Flipperlister is in along with JohnJohn, so we'll see what JohnJohn pits onto. He took the soft 7 laps, to be fair to him.
Yeah, the soft rate, where a rate of 6.5% per lap, and I imagine that's on equal cars, as far as I remember from the other day when I was practicing for another league.
And JohnJohn pitting for the medium tyres, so he will have to stop again, Wizard Mitten making a move on Rothwell using the power of the drag reduction system.
Yeah, it's ultimately very close between them, but the drag reduction system finding the extra speed on the straights. We're going to see here as Killian looks to battle for P9, I think it is. I'm focusing on this battle. He's unable to get the move, but we've got Rothwell going around the outside of turn 9. He gets P9 for now, but it's close between him and Wizard Mitten, but he secures that position.
And Killian is definitely not going to want to be stuck in this battle. He has got the fresh medium tyres as Deaton now comes into the pits for his first pit stop of the race. So we'll see if Killian can force a way through in. Here's a look for the final corner as Padge gets a 3-second time penalty. But Killian's still stuck at the current moment.
Yes, interesting one there.
See if he can make the move, maybe into turn 4, or maybe he'll wait for the use of DRS as Leo and Deaton swap positions as they come out of the pit lane. That'll be crucial as Deaton exits the pit lane ahead as Killian does make the move on them both into turn 4. I missed that, apologies for that. I'm sure you'll see that overtake in the Discord later in the overtake of the seasons.
Yeah, there's been plenty of those. We've seen one of them recently from the man I'm focusing on here, the English driver Deflated V getting a double overtake, I think it was the other day around here, in no assist on the way to his win here. He's looking for back-to-back, 33rd win, but he's stuck at the back of the train that leads up to P3 right now.
Exactly, you've got the pole sitter Wuta leading this train, but upset from Padge, who is yet to pit yet. As Padge now comes into the pit lane along with Nico, so that will unleash Wuta into the lead of this race, along with Max and Björn in behind, and Deflated Wee, who is on the alternate strategy.
Yeah, it's a shame to see. Yeah, even for sure. It's a shame to see. Oh, but there is some wheel banging there between Deflated Wee and Björn. He gets the overtake round here into turn 5, but it's a shame to see Padge not in P2. It's great to see when he gets a podium, if he does,
exactly.
Hopefully.
But as you can see now, Björn might potentially be having a look at Deflated Wee. He goes down the inside of his not championship rival. His name is not Jam Pankheads, but Deflated Wee is able to stay ahead as he will now look forward onto Max and Wuta, who Max is up in this fight now with a great strategy as he Deflated Wee now having a look round the outside of the fast right-handers. Oh, bit of contact there, but nothing too serious as it currently stands. Deflated Wee, lovely move from him as he now will look forward. He has got the 3-second time penalty to serve, or that will come out to bite him at the end of this race, which I imagine if he doesn't get any more warnings might potentially be able to be removed, because I imagine he got one for being in one of those situations where he could have been pushed off track. So we'll see if anything is reported, and when we come back to you next week, you will be able to find out from us what actually happened.
Yeah, you'll find out the result from the steward who's alongside me here, Scott.
It doesn't matter.
My brain is fried today.
Just stick with the first thing you say. But going back to the front of the grid, Wuta and Deflated Wee still being followed by Max and Björn, who's medium tyres maybe slightly coming of age as back in the battle for P8, Nico has managed to get past Wizard Mitten. As Deflated Wii has now swapping positions with Wooter and having a look here. Oh, contact there, Wooter getting caught out maybe. I think Deflated Wii is known for leaving a lot of room, so I imagine Wooter just went into the side pod there. But we'll have to wait and see if anything comes out of that. But it has cost Wooter P1 for now, as Max and
Oh,
Stein,
we've got a car in the barrier.
come
Sorry
to
to
pit.
interrupt you there, Salt. We've got a
That is Leo.
Padge. Oh no, it's Leo in the
Leo
barrier.
is in the pit lane.
No.
He is missing a front wing.
Yeah.
As JohnJohn makes the move on him, but comes back. Ooh, lovely racing this would be for P13, but I cannot see if Leo is missing a front wing. He continues on, so I highly doubt it. But Max and Björn have come out in P11 and P12 respectively, hoping that this undercut will be able to take them to the end of this race.
Yeah, we'll have to see whether that works out. It's going to be a close one on that strategy, but ultimately it could yield some rewards in the end.
However, they are both fighting as it currently stands, as Deton makes the move on Jax into this chicane and does make the move stick. I imagine Jax will be coming back for that position, but Max and Björn look to be fighting a bit more than they should if they want to make this undercut work. Otherwise, Deflated Wii, who is leading the way and has quite a bit of time left on those hard compound tyres, might cost him the chance of the win.
But he does have that penalty, and Wooter seems to be holding on to his battery very well. Something we've seen from him throughout this entire race is that he seems to be very lenient on the battery deployment. He's got significant advantage to Deflated Wii, I'm seeing here, although I can't reveal the specifics.
As you can see, both the 150 brake markable in turn 1 are missing. We did not know what happened to them, other than the fact they are gone. They disappeared like a magic trick. But best battle at the moment is for P4. You have Killian, Rothwell and Nico all fighting out for the coveted P4 position. I say coveted, but you know, could be a chance for P3 on the cards if Deflated Wii gets any more penalties. Killian still leading the way in that Williams car. Rothwell will have DRS if he gets a good exit here, and with the use of his DRS, will he have any battery to burn? And Deflated Wii goes very defensively, but Rothwell is able to make the move past as Killian will slot in behind. Deton making his way past his teammate for the night, and Max and Björn are swapping positions. There are currently 12 laps left in this race. Anything is possible. Björn Beast going off track on the exit of the hairpin, as we have Wooter pitting for his final pit stop of the race.
I feel like this is one of those races we've had it many times. I think it was like this in Qatar last week, where we're having a lot of stuff going on, although nothing feels like it's going on. Then we get one of those things, a safety car happens, and this race turns itself on its head.
Yeah, this race is becoming very strategic, as Wooter has pitted for his hard compound tyres, and we know from the other drivers that have pitted that Deflated Wii will have another set of medium tyres to pit onto for the end of this race. Ethan is currently up there in P2, who I imagine will pit for another set of medium tyres, and the same with Rothwell, who is currently running in P3. Leo getting another 3-second time penalty. He's been very unfortunate with those, so we'll currently go through time penalties. Deflated Wii having 3, Padge has 6, Flipperlister has 3, and Leo has 15 seconds time worth of time penalties. It's very unfortunate for them, as Ethan getting his first 3-second time penalty is currently running in P2, so we'll see how that penalty affects him in the later laps.
Yeah, if there was a safety car, it would shaft deflated we and Ethan B48110. So there's the penalties that they have, although not much in the race again is happening that much. It's boiling down to more of a strategic race than one that's been fought on track.
Exactly, deflated we still leading the way as we basically wait for him to pit as Leo is out
He's
of
retired.
this race and
It's a safety car.
as Leo has retired on track.
I'm a safety car whisperer.
So that is very interesting there. But that is a safety car, and that, well, that is really good for deflated we and Ethan.
Yeah.
As it allows them, they didn't get caught by the safety car. So that means that during this, everyone, this especially staffs JohnJohn and Flipperlister. Oh no, they've just pit actually. So that kind of works for them. But this is going to work wonders for deflated we and Ethan and Rothwell, who are all going to gain massively from the safety car. It might shove them when it comes to their penalties, but
Yeah. I'm just gonna have to say it now, Socks. I am the safety car whisperer. I basically called the safety car about 2 laps before it happened. But yeah, as I said a few laps ago, it's really going to turn this race on its head. It brings JohnJohn and Flipperlister back into this race. Ethan, deflated, and Rothwell get to box off their old hard tyres. Truly turn the strategy on its head, as the majority of them being wholly boxing with a safety car.
as you can see now, deflated we coming in, Ethan coming in, Rothwell getting a 3-second time penalty. If he puts that in, that can be removed because it was in the pit lane. Nico coming in, Killian coming in, Deton coming in, Wizardman coming in, Padge coming in, Max continues on.
Yeah. But we really have to see, because who has boxed for what?
And Björn also continues on. So Max and Björn have continued on as they have only just pit. Wouter also continued on. He is currently running P5. Everyone else has pit apart from Jax, who will come out in P10.
Yeah, although Max and Björn have just boxed on 4-lap old tyres, that can make quite the difference. When we assume the average tyre wear for the hards is roughly 4.3% a lap, they've done 4 laps on it. My math isn't that good, but that means that pretty much everyone else in the field, especially the ones near them, are going to have roughly a 12% tyre advantage on them. So it actually could make quite the difference. They could fall a few positions behind unless they can make use of what they have.
It has allowed.
Oh, it's 16, sorry. Not 12.
16.
16. 4 times 4.
Yeah. As we now wait for Flipperlister and JohnJohn to catch up to the back of the safety car. That probably means we've got one more lap under the safety car, which we will have 1, 2, 3, 7 laps of racing to go in this race. Deflated we will have to get a 3-second gap to Max and Björn, as Ethan will have to do the same if he can get past them on those fresh medium tyres.
Yeah, who do we think driver of the day is going to go to today? I'm tempted to say Ruta. He's up in P5 and he got his first podium today. That is who I'm tempted to say.
Yeah, he got his first pole in qualifying.
My bad.
He could be on for his first podium as it currently stands. He's got 8 laps to do so. His tyres will be able to hold on longer as it currently stands.
Undeniably, a safety car should be coming in this lap. We're going to see it anytime soon as the train fully closes together. Killian has caught up to the safety car. The people behind him have too.
Exactly, as you can see, drivers doing the wibbly wobbly. As you can see, everyone who wants to do their best Kimi Raikkonen impression. You have Padge, Killian, and Wismitten and Flipperlista wanting to do their best.
Undeniably, that is very true, but what's also very true is sort of the bittersweet safety car, we can say this is, for this late green Ethan V48110. Whilst they were able to box with new tyres, safety car in this lap, they have the curse of a 3-second penalty.
Exactly, so the safety car will now come into the pit stop, which will allow Deflated Wee to lead us away.
Yeah, focusing on him from the camera perspective, not on his car. We're going to see how he does this restart. No overtaking till the time, my folks.
Exactly, so there will be patience as we currently wait to see what is going to happen.
I will see how this goes. And
As
I
they
believe
get
the Deflated
underway.
Wee has gone. He is restarted.
As Max did not have a good restart, and so did Björn, which is going to allow Ethan to have a look. Björn goes off track, so that might be a warning for him. Wouter and Nico swapping places as it currently stands. Killian having a look down inside or at the outside of Wouter. Ethan managing to get past Björn on the exit of turn 5. Killian also getting past Wouter, and JohnJohn getting past Padge. Wouter has made his way back through on Killian, and Killian will now have a look back through. Ethan and Björn swapping positions again. Björn getting a better exit out of.
Yeah, it's very close between them. Björn with the worst tyres, but seemingly a large battery advantage. Although Ethan fighting with it, those better tyres making the difference. His Deflated Wee is 2.1 seconds ahead. He needs 3 seconds to win.
All very levelly battling from the two Ferraris, Williams, and McLarens as it currently stands. Rothwell is the driver ahead at the moment in swapping places with Wouter. Rothwell getting almost put into a wall there, but he does not have any damage as it currently stands. Björn now getting passed by. As Björn is out of the race, he is retired from this race. So the current P3 in the driver's standings is looking on for a good result. He has decided to retire from this race. So Björn is out, which means that he is not on for a podium anymore.
Yeah, but what this also means, though, is just important that Deflated Wee is putting 9-10 gap on Max. So pretty much, having Max and Björn as his rear gunners has allowed him to put Ethan at bay. He's only got 7 laps to catch.
Yeah, Ethan has now managed to make his way past Max, but Max might have a look back with the use of the drag reduction system. You can use it when you're within 1 second of the car ahead, and if you would like an onboard, do not press the red button because it does not exist. As Ethan goes down the inside and Rothwell having a look around the outside of Jax. Rothwell looking very, very feisty on the outside at the moment. He goes around the outside, lock up there from the Williams, but Rothwell is still on the inside as Rothwell settles in behind. He has got a 3-second time penalty, which has allowed...
Big snap from Max there. Sorry to interrupt you there, Sops. Big snap from Max, and Ethan is out DRS.
Ethan has managed to get a gap on Max, which Ethan is now looking, or going to look. He's got 5 laps to catch up to Deflated Wee, or try and break a 3-second gap himself. As Max and Nico are fighting, Max is doing a not so good job of being a good teammate to his teammate for the evening, but Nico has managed to make his way past. As always, with the use of DRS, Wouter will look to make it way past both the Mercedes drivers. Going through the chicane now, Wouter will have a better entry to the exit of the chicane. And Wouter will make his way through to P3, Max at P4, Nico falling down to P6 behind Killian as it currently stands.
Yes, as Ethan needs to gain roughly a second in the remaining lap to keep his position, as Deflated Wee has a 1.1 second gap on P2.
Yeah, Wizard Mitten going off track in the train. He has got a 3-second time penalty along with Nico, who that will now really affect his race. But Deflated Wee, the gap is very much increasing. So Deflated Wee using his pace in that Haas car to make moves. Rothwell gets another 3-second time penalty. He's currently running in P11, but with some help of the train, maybe he can catch up more. But he is not going to be. Everyone will score points tonight, so he will score some points, but might be struggling for more points. So we go back to the front of the grid with Deflated Wee. I mean, yeah, he's ahead. He's far.
He is basically. I'm not going to say the words because I don't want to commentate and curse him. Not potentially his 33rd win as Ethan has spun out of
again.
Whatever it is, I don't know what it is. But yeah, he is spun.
Ethan is ram, which has pushed Wouter into P2. That is the second race in a row during Abu Dhabi that Ethan has spun. It cost him the potential chance at a podium and no assist, and it has cost him a potential chance in realistic tier tonight as we've got more spots position. Rothwell making his way past Wismit and going to have a look at Deton coming into the last 3 laps of the race. Everything is going on.
Everything's going on indeed, as there is a 6.9 second gap, so I'm going to use these couple words. I believe Deflated Wee has essentially won the race. I'm going to throw it out there.
Good evening, Rids. Hope you're doing very well, my friend. We got 3 laps in this race left. Deflated Wee is leading it by 7 seconds. He does have a 3-second time penalty as it currently stands, but it is looking very much in favour of Deflated Wee to get the maximum 25 points. Björn Beast did return to start, but he has since retired of the race. As Ethan has made a move on Deton as Wizard Mitten gets another 3-second time penalty.
Yeah, it looks like it's very close, but that was going to try the championship standings, and I'll get back to you all.
As Ethan has made a lovely move round the... As Rothwell is round! And Rothwell has got a broken front wing. I think it's two... It's
safety
another
car.
safety car! It's another safety car! No way!
Oh my god, that's just Deflated Wee.
No.
Wouter could win this race.
Deflated Wee is in. He made it into the pit lane just in time. Ethan's got a drive-through! Ethan's got a drive-through! No!
His race turns upside down. He gets another penalty. 6-second time penalty.
As Max continues on,
10-second time penalty as he retires.
Ethan retires, yeah. He was not going to be able to serve that penalty, but drivers are continuing on. Some drivers have continued on, but some have pitted. Deflated Wee being one of the ones that have risked the pit. You've got 5 drivers that have pitted. The safety car will only be out for this lap. It will be in at the end of this lap.
Oh,
wow.
This is very interesting, folks. Another safety car that's changed the race. Wait, so dare I say the commentator's curse has struck again?
Yeah, Rothwell is also out of this race as well.
I've commentator's cursed Deflated Wee. I said he'd won the race, but then a safety car came out. The safety car whisperer speaks again.
Yeah, this is Rothwell in a what we call return race. Yeah, Ridge will put you in contact with someone so you can make that happen. The safety car is now in at the end of this lap. As Ethan saying he's 4 seconds off. Oh, you were 1.4 seconds off on the Delta. No, Rothbell went off and tried to overtake and push me off and got a 3-second time penalty. The Wizards bet, and if you put a report in at the end of this race, we'll see what can be done. As yeah, Björn hoping that Wuta wins. It is going to be absolute chaos. We'll have 2 racing laps to play. We will have 2 racing laps, and anyone on the soft tyres will have 2 racing laps to make their way through the grid and try and claim a podium. Deflated Wee might not be able to get the race win because of his 3-second time penalty, but as Max leads us away for this penultimate lap of this race.
It's going to be crazy, the grip difference. Thank you, Rid, though, for the sponsorship again. Very generous.
Rids is back with the potential sponsorship gain, as we are now looking. Deflated Wee has made the move on Flipper Lister, and he is going to make a move round, or attempt to make a move around the outside, but it turns to the inside for the straight. And Deflated Wee will now have a look at Jax. And he goes down the inside, very, very nice calm there from Deflated Wee. All very nice traction as Nico struggles, but Deflated Wee is up to P3.
It's got to be one of the greatest on-track wins ever. Surely.
Exactly. He's now got to look at making the move on Killian, and if he can... Oh, Deflated Wee with a little slide there at the exit of the hairpin. Deflated Wee will now have to look at making a move. I think there was a spinner in the background. I think Jax is round. I don't know how that happened, as we were focused on this top fight. Deflated Wee might have a look on Killian into the final corner, or maybe turn 1 as we now enter the final lap of this race.
Yeah, exit turn 1 is where you can get a track limits warning, but no one is... got that remaining clean. Deflated Wee staying behind, not too far, but not too far away. He's looking for the move on Killian here, up to the hairpin. He stays behind.
He waits for now, as Killian will potentially have a look at Max. But as we wait to see here, Deflated Wee using his battery to make a move on Killian, and Deflated Wee is boxed in for now. As we go back, Deflated Wee's going to have a look in the middle. He makes a move ahead of both of them. Both of them. Bit of contact between Killian and himself. Max gets pushed off track in the back.
What an overtake.
This has allowed a slight gap, as Killian is now going to be caught up by Max and Nico. They're 4 wide. As contact there, Nico is round. Nico is round. There's currently a 5/10 gap between Deflated Wee and Killian, so this will not be a win on track for Deflated Wee unless he can get that penalty removed. But it's looking like, and it will be, so Deflated Wee will cross the line first using those soft tyres to affection, but Killian will cross the line for his first win in realistic tier. Max will come second for the second race in a row. JohnJohn is P3 after being last early in the race.
That might be
there was a hell of a load of finishes below. We will go through the rest of them at the moment, but that is our P3. It is Killian.
What a race.
Max and JohnJohn. That could be the best race of the season.
That could be the best race of the season. Killian on his 62nd race. That is his 12th win in IIRL first in realistic tier. What a race we've just had here, folks.
That was absolute
Let's go, Killian.
Madness. Killian wins, is the current assist tier championship leader, and he has just won a race in realistic tier. That is great momentum for his race on Sunday.
That is probably my favourite race of realistic so far. This is the amazing action we get here in this tier every Thursday.
Nico saying that he got tapped, and Ethan celebrating for Killian, and Wisdomitten saying that he got spun by Deton. But that is the end of this race. Current our standings are the race results are Killian P1, Max P2, JohnJohn P3, Wouter P4, Deton P5, Deflated We crossing the line first but dropping down to P6, Flipperless P7, Jax P8, Nico P9, Padge P10, Wismet P11, Ethan P12 DNFing, Rothwell P13 DNFing, Björn P14 DNFing, and Leo P15 DNFing.
Oh, we've got a
Wow.
bit of tension here. Max saying that he got pushed off the track by Killian. That'll be investigated by the steward. But well done to Killian, his 12th win. I've got to say, that is now my new favourite race of this realistic this season. You got to come back the next Thursday, folks. This racing is unparalleled. Dare I say, better than the other two tiers. But
Yeah,
I am biased.
that was an absolute monster of a race. I hope you loved it as much as I did, and as much as Tacit did. I mean, a lot of drivers seem to get not so nice results, but I think it was still a great race from everyone, including the ones at DNF. They still had great showings until the safety cars came out, which threw everything on its head. But we loved it anyway. But that is it from the realistic tier Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Next week we'll be back 7:30 p.m. UK time for the Dutch Grand Prix, which always might was a great qualifying track and always in my experiences in assist here, will produce good racing. Not Nico. Jack, I am the steward for this evening, so that's ISOXI in the Discord if you need to message me anything, or when you report it. But that is
Yes.
it from me and Tacit tonight. Uh, I don't know which two commentators will be joining you on Sunday for the uh, assist here race on Sunday 7:30 p.m. UK time, but it is going to produce some great racing nonetheless. You'll have Killian trying to take his lead. I'm currently P2 in that championship, trying to gain on him, and if Josh races, anything is possible. And speaking of Killian, he will be back with you on Tuesday for the first Dutch Grand Prix race weekend for no assist here at 7:30 p.m. UK time. But that is it from me and Tacit for tonight. I need to lie down after that. I'm sure Tacit does
Yeah.
too.
I certainly do. Well, it's a goodbye from me. Goodbye.
And it is a goodbye from me too. See you next week. Bye!
Bye.